Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to start doing short lives about the series of Job called The Life of Job. In each live, I'll talk a little bit about this new series we're launching on Univer Video, exclusively on Univer Video, starting August 15th. August 15th, okay? It'll also be released on record after Paul the Apostle. Well, first, I'd like to talk about why the story of Job. Why did we decide to make a mini series about the life of Job? First of all, you know that Job is very well known. His story is very well known. A lot of people know Job because of his patience, right? And many also know that this story is, well, it's kind of a mystery for many. As beautiful as it is, it's hard for a lot of people to understand the story of Job. And when you see the book in the Bible, it feels like it's just stuck there between other books. Because all the other books kind of connect with each other. So you've got Genesis and all the stories that come after Moses, after the people in Egypt, Joseph, and so on. Then you get Judges, Kings, the prophets. You've got Proverbs, Solomon, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, and all that. And then there's this book that doesn't seem to fit. At first glance, you look and think, what's this book doing here? Because all the other books talk about a people. It's a narrative of a chosen people of God and God trying to bring them back to Him. But Job isn't that. Job is the story of a man. It's a book about one man who lived in Uz. It doesn't say who his father was. It doesn't say if he was an Israelite, nothing like that. It just says that he was a very rich man, very, very rich, the richest man in all the East. He lived in a place called Uz. Many theologians suggest different locations for where Uz might have been. Some say it could be here, others there, but nobody knows exactly where it was. And the story begins with a very interesting, very mysterious dialogue. A dialogue between God and the devil. And they talk about Job. So Job's story is very deep. It's very spiritual. And it'll help you understand, especially if you're someone who tries to do everything right in life, tries to be a just person, and yet bad things keep happening to you. Sometimes you feel like you've been living with injustice your whole life. No one seems to be able to solve that for you. You're always going through something unfair. You keep asking yourself why. You did everything right to have a good marriage. You dated properly, did everything right, you got engaged, met the parents. You did everything right. And yet your marriage is terrible. You ended up with someone who mistreats you, cheats on you, and you wonder, what did I do to deserve this life? I've never harmed anyone. I always tried to do what's right, and everything wrong keeps happening to me. When I can't help, I at least try not to get in the way. But people are always trying to get in my way, trying to harm me. So you're a just person living in an unjust world. And that creates a constant inner conflict. Why? Is it even worth it to be just if we end up suffering just like the unjust do? So this is the narrative of the story of Job. That's why we wrote the story of Job. It's a very reflective story, very beautiful, also very sad. But it's a story that will answer a lot of questions. Many questions. Why does evil exist? Why do good people suffer? Why did God allow all that to happen to Job? What can we learn from Job's life? Is it just about patience? Only patience? That's what you're going to learn. That's what you'll see in the life of Job. This mini-series has 20 episodes, so it's not very long. And it has 20 episodes because we tell the story starting from Job's youth. In the Bible, we don't know anything about Job's background. Nothing about who he was, where he grew up, who his parents were. So we had to adapt his story. When you search for Job, the first time his name appears is in Genesis as one of Jacob's grandsons, son of Issachar. But nothing else is said about him. At that time, they were living in Egypt. They went there during Joseph's time. So we chose that Job, the one who already knew God, who had a knowledge of him, because Job feared God, avoided evil, and lived justly. So he already knew God. He wasn't a completely unbelieving person. We chose that Job, son of Issachar, who at some point leaves Goshen and goes to live in Uz. And you'll see that whole journey, why he left, who he was, who that young Job might have been. What was he like as a young man? There are a few Bible passages, but most of the book of Job is actually a dialogue between Job and his friends. So there's not much story in there. So most of the series will show you who Job was, so you can understand why he went through what he did and why he became the person who teaches us so much, and why God praised him in front of all the angels and especially in front of the devil. So the life of Job, don't miss it on Univer Video, August 15th. That's when the premiere of this new mini-series begins. You're going to love it.
Has this program been of help for you? Feel free to share with someone who also will benefit from watching it. You feel free to press the share button, and if you want, you can like it and leave your comments below. God bless.